Uh, our lives are very complex because there's a lot of transformation in our lives. We're born soul babies that are stupid to life on earth. We don't know anything about this planet when we're born. Our brains are continuously learning everything, how to talk, how to walk, mom, dad, money, food, what to eat, what not to eat, life, things that give death. There's a lot a baby has to go through to go into adolescence. It is a very busy time, and then adolescent is not the end. We need to become an adult. There's a lot of transformation involved in human life, and it usually goes wrong, tragically goes wrong, because the human is not good at taking care of the soul. The human is not good at empowering the soul. At the beginning, the soul is seriously dependent on the parents. It needs a lot of loving, a lot of attention, and a lot of knowledge. And if it doesn't get that, if a baby is stuck with a mom and dad who don't give it good love and good knowledge and do not empower the soul of the baby, which means the feelings of the baby matter, that soul can get into some very serious depression. And entering into adolescent, that baby can become quiet, introverted, depressed, get into cocaine, get into alcohol. The sexual development becomes abnormal. There is no sexuality at all. There's no romantic, there's no desire to be alive in a lot of children who come from parents who are no good. There's a lot of bad parents out there. Parents that don't know how to treat the child right. Some children feel undesired, unwanted. There's no money. There's misery in the family. There's a lack of love in the couple. There's continuous fighting in the house. All this kind of stuff has serious consequences to the baby, who sometimes feels that it is the reason for the problems in the marriage itself. A child can develop gender prejudice because of family, all right? Which means the baby can determine the dad is good and the mom is bad. And that can transfer into the adolescence, where if the child is suffering in the family and then it gets involved in dating, romance, and sex, that could be very effective, because basically the child is going to try to find a suffering situation in dating. It's not possible to be unhappy all the time at home and then look for a very happy situation while dating. So the suffering is transferred to the adolescent, and the soul is attracted to problematic relationships where it is a slave or it is castrated. It may even turn gay as a result of gender prejudice. Gender prejudice is not a disease that is recognized in Western psychology, which means when you develop a hatred for a gender, like, say, men, and a love of women, it's based on some kind of event in the child. The child is not born with this prejudice. The child is not born with a prejudice towards one gender or another. This prejudice can happen due to some very serious sufferings involved while being a baby going into adolescence. And sexuality emerges at the ages of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, being adolescent. The adolescent is one of the most difficult times in humanity, because there is a semi-independence that comes trying to become a complete independence. The baby is dependent, and adolescent wants to become independent. But when we're talking about a thief or a criminal, when we're talking about somebody who ends up on the street, somebody who's on cocaine or opium or is a misfit, he doesn't want to go to school, he doesn't want to work. A lot of it has to do with the circumstances of birth. A bad birth will give a bad life. And that's why we have to prevent these bad births. We have to have, Good parents. Good parents are very, very important in order to produce a fulfilled, flourishing adult, which is extremely rare in humanity. A lot of humans get involved in their business or in their career so much, they don't have much chance for a romantic life or a sexual life that is fulfilling. Right? Humans tend to hide somewhere. They get into adolescence and they find a way to hide at work or to hide being a mother to a family and shielding themselves off from the rest of the world. The adolescent years are extremely error prone. The choices we make during adolescence, which means between the ages of 11 and then say 23, are extremely error prone because we're attracted to things often that are not good for our soul. And we follow these things and they end up in hell. Basically, adolescence is a time to build hell in our lives rather than heaven in our lives or paradise in our lives. I mean, there's a lot of adults, people who are 30, 40, 50, who realize there's something went wrong during adolescence, something went wrong while they were a baby, and they have to go back in time mentally and work out what went wrong in adolescence, what went wrong in their faculties, what went wrong in their choices, and try to correct that in order to flourish as an adult late in life. This is usually the case. A normal, flourishing adult, a normal man, a normal woman is extremely rare in humanity. Most humans are crippled adolescents. There's something in the head doesn't work very well. The heart is full of pain. The animal is crippled and sick and uneasy with pleasure. There is no power sense in the root. We have 4 faculties. I guess I have to always draw this because we are ignorant of this. Any of these 4 faculties, if any of these faculties get crippled, the soul is crippled as a result. Right? All faculties matter. The head matters, the heart matters, the animal matters, and the power center, the physique, matters as well. If any of these 4 is severely crippled, the soul is going to get into very serious depression sometime in its life. Usually a depression that will never be resolved. We don't have the knowledge. Our psychologists don't understand this kind of stuff. There's no medication against this kind of stuff. So human life is not soul-centered. The soul well-being is not, the human expertise. We're not expert at flourishing the soul in humanity. We're expert at strangulating the soul in humanity. There's so many orders. There's so many things we have to do. We have to go to schools that make us stupid to life. It is a tragedy that our school system makes us stupid to life. Our schools make us stupid to money, stupid to power, stupid to sex, stupid to romance. How is the soul going to be successful if it's stupid at the fundamentals of life? How is an adult going to develop who is financially well off, romantically fulfilled, sexually fulfilled, and who has a sense of self or power where it doesn't get bossed around by anybody? That is extremely rare. A fulfilled soul is extremely rare in humanity. The reaction that we have to our suffering forge our personality. But the reactions are error prone. We react to the sufferings of our youth, the sufferings of our family, the sufferings of our schools, the sufferings of our society, and we end up making serious errors that end up putting us on a path to hell. In order to go to paradise, we usually have to rebuild the personality by going back, which is a lot of work to go back to the child state and rebuild the personality into an adult.